Hi everybody, this is Fisher Coder here. I have a lot of queries from YouTube, people asking me to go through questions about trees, especially binary trees or binary search trees or different sorts of trees. So today I'm going through LeetCode problem 100, a very basic question, but it's good to brush up on the very basics before we dive deeper into more advanced techniques. Before we start looking at the problem, just do me a favor and smash the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell notification so that every time when I publish a new video, you'll get the notification instantly. All right, with that said, let's take a look at this problem. It's called same tree. The problem goes like this. Given two binary trees, write a function to check if they are the same or not. Two binary trees. These two binary trees are considered the same if they are structurally identical and the nodes have the same value. For example, let's take a look at example 1. These two binary trees, on plain side, we know they are identical, so they are the same tree, so the result is going to be true. 1, root node is 1, root node is 1. Left, on the left side, it has only one child and with value 2. The same is also the case for the second tree, and there is only one right child on the first binary tree with a value 3, which is also the same case for the second. Let's take a look at a second example. The second example goes like this. The structure of the two trees on plain side, it's different, right? This one has a left child with value 2, but this one doesn't have any left child. But it has a right child with a value 2. So we're going to return false because structurally they are different. Remember here, they are structurally identical and the nodes have the same value. So the second example violates the first rule, which is they are not structurally identical. The third one is also false. Why? Because it violates both rules. It violates the second rule, which means the nodes don't have the same value, although structurally they are identical. It's a 4 binary tree, with two levels, but in the first tree, the left child has the left side has one child with a value 2, but the second tree has a left child with value 1, and so does the right side. So we're going to return false. When looking at this problem, is very easy and plain side, but how do we put the solution into code? That's going to involve, there are multiple ways to do this. You can do it either iteratively or recursively. Recursively, I think, is going to be the most intuitive way. Just think, say how a binary tree is represented. See, there is a comment here. So this is the tree node on the right side. I hope you guys can see my cursor. Tree node. There is a val, which stands for the value, and then there are two other pointers. One is called left, and the other is called right. So which is pointing at, say, we're looking at tree node at this root. It has one left child, the other is right child. So we have left and right. And then here is the constructor. So we're going to, what the API signature for the solution is going to be looking like P and Q. These are the two root nodes, which represents the two binary trees that we are going to take in. First, the problem is going to be, we'll just check constantly. Say, first we compare whether the root node values are equal. If they're not equal, we can directly return false, right? That's also actually one of the exit condition out of the recursion if you're going to solve it recursively. And then if the root node's value are equal, we'll just continue to check whether the first tree's left child here, left child, is equal to the second tree's left child. And the same goes on with the first tree's right child and the second tree's right child to check if they are equal. So these three examples are very straightforward, but these trees could be like n level, right? So these 3 examples only shows trees with 2 levels. It can go on and on. See, it has 3 levels, 4 levels, 5 levels. So this is where the recursive or programming power comes into play. So in terms of code, how can we do that? what we can do first is we'll check whether P equals null. So it's definitely possible that any one of the passed in binary tree node, they could be null, right? For example, here, when we go through to the code to the tree node at with value 2, its left child and right child, both of them are null, right? This is actually also one of the exit conditions. We just break out, right? The same is also true for this tree node. This tree node is the leaf node, which means it doesn't have any left or right children for this binary tree node. So we're going to check if P equals null or Q equals null. In this case, we can just return whether P equals to Q. If none of them is null, which means this is going to return false. But if both of them are null, which is a good case, which means this is going to return true, right? Then how can we check whether these two trees are the same? We're going to check if P. So if we can pass this, which means both P and Q are not null, so we can safely check if P's value equals to Q's value, right? Okay, we'll check whether these two are not equal. If they are not equal, we can just return false, right? Say if here P's value is 2 while Q's value is 1, so we're just going to return false in this case. And then after that, we're just going to use a recursive function, so call it the same tree. The same tree, we check whether P's left, we're going to pass in P's left and also Q's left, right? So say P, we're looking at the very beginning, which is 1 and 1. P is at 1 at this node, Q is at this node 1. And then we pass in P's left, which is here 2. And Q's left, which is here, right? We're going to check here whether they are equal or not. So in this case, they are not equal. So we're going to end up here. It's going to call here. So we're going to get, which is going to become this P dot left is going to become 2, and this Q dot left is going to become 1. So we call this function again. So this one turns to here. It's going to call here. But now this time, P is going to be with value 2 at this node. Q is going to be at this node with value 1. And then, so it comes here, P not equals to null and Q not equal to null either. So this one doesn't hold. We're going to come here. Then we check P's value is actually 2. Okay, so Q's value is actually 1 here. The second tree is left child. So they are not equal. So we're going to return false here. It's just to break out of this recursive function, right? That's going to give us the correct answer. Say, suppose this side is 1, 2, and if we change this side to be 1, 2, so suppose here is with value 2, right? That means we're going to get 2 here again, which means we're going to break out of this loop. But still, that's not good enough, right? We need to check the right side, to check the right side whether they have. Do both of them have children? If they do have children, do they have the same value? We also need to check. We need to apply the same check on the right side of the both trees. So we are going to have another recursive call here, going to be P right and Q right. That's going to be a complete solution. Does that make sense? I hope that does. Now we can, that basically is the solution. We can try to submit. All right, it's accepted. I think we can even simplify this. We don't need this one more for loop. We can just cut it off and put it here, do an end, so that we can have a one line here. So we'll have to check first P's value equals to Q's value. If it doesn't equal, then we'll just break out. This is AND, which is basically going to shortcut it. Only when this one holds, it will execute this, And if only both of these two conditions hold, we're going to execute the third check. Yeah, that's basically concludes the solution for this problem. This is a very basic binary tree problem. I hope you guys like it. And if you do have any questions that you would like me to go through in further details, just leave me comments below. I'll be happy to walk you through that. Also, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to my channel. Turn on the notification bell so that you can get my new videos instantly. Let's crack that coding interview. That's all for today. I'll see you guys in the next tutorial.